That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.
100% real, raw, and uncut. Deadass.
Sometimes you got to start the podcast with something that you absolutely need to talk about. We got to stop this solution-based, non-solution-based conversations that we support. We got to stop this shit. If we don't stop it, it's gonna just gonna keep going.
Y'all know what time it is. Turn up. That's what I said.
Welcome to another episode of That's What I Said with your host, Cedric Sanders, giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. The broadcast starts now.
About that time.
It is about that time.
So let's get it in. What's good, y'all? Yes, That's What I Said. Live podcast, direct on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you get your little, your podcast. Wherever you get your podcast, please support your brother. What's good, baby? How you doing over there?
What's good? What's good? What's good? My allergies are kicking my ass, but
Yeah, man. It was hot today. 80 degrees over here, man. I was like, man, it don't make no sense. But I got the grill started.
Yep. First grilling of the season.
Yeah, had to get that grill in. So, peace and love to y'all. Hope y'all enjoying your Thursday. That's What I Said. Live again, direct, and we just gonna talk about something that I wouldn't necessarily say frequently talk about, because I don't really talk about it. I guess show it in action. The topic, of course, stop supporting non-solution based conversations and why. And I know a lot of people will sit there and be like, huh? Think about it. People will sit there and have these non-solution based conversations for what? For what? Is it just for attention? Is it just to grab as many people that are just listen to them?
I was just about to say.
I mean,
because a lot of people like to hear themselves talk. So they just want to talk at random about all kinds of shit.
And it makes no sense. There's no, to keep it 100, there's no end game to it.
No, they just want to talk.
Right.
Period.
It's just, they just want to talk. Just talk about nothing. And the sad part about it is that I think I might have said this before too. It's like, it's a conversation that goes nowhere. I mean, it's great points that they come up with and great points that can be said, but really, what is the solution?
Yeah, a lot of great points being brought up during the conversation, but they lead nowhere.
But this is the thing that bothers me. It's like you focus on all the negatives. Never just saying, oh, this is the positive thing about it. This is happened, and it's a great thing. Never nothing positive. It's always the negative. It's always the oppressed mindset, like what has stuck people in a position to where they continuously stay stuck. And never any solutions or never any of the positive outcome that has come on that. It's just all negative. I mean, we can talk about so many different myriad of things that's in this conversation, but it's like you bring this to a point where it's engaging to nobody. You're engaging the gossip that makes this valid, and it's no solution to it. Like none.
They just keep going in a big ass circle.
Right. It's like you want to blame everybody for this. You want to blame everybody for that. You want to continue to make it seem like it's somebody else's problem. Then why are you talking about it? Let me sip this. So, excuse my manners. I am the host, Cedric D. Sanders, and I don't do this by myself. I do it with my beautiful wife, Connie. That's the beautiful voice you heard on the other end. No, it's not a producer. It's my wife. You can only see me. You can see me on the video, just not her. And it's not because I'm poor and I don't have 2 cameras. It's just, one, she don't want to do the camera thing. She could do the voice thing. She don't want to do the camera thing.
I'm a behind the scenes kind of person.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with having someone behind the scenes as a co-host. I mean, that's just nothing wrong with that. So getting back on track. So how, and I said, that was the why, my biggest why. It's there's nothing that is going to close the conversation to make you feel like there's some progress going to happen and we're going to move forward in a solution based and things are going to get better. But nothing of that. It's just talking. It's surrounding yourself around negative conversation in which people talk about, you need to do this, you need to do that. Never just a suggestion or, give them 5 ways to fix this or 5 ways to do this. No, it's just, this is my view on it. And this is just how I see it, blah, blah, blah. And now, and that's it. And now everybody wants to get on the bandwagon and be like, yeah, hoorah. Yeah. And it's like, y'all can fix this. All these people that support you in this conversation, you can fix this.
Right.
It's like, damn, you don't need to act of Congress. You got 1 million followers and you just got non-solution based conversations. You just talking shit about all the negative of everything, but no positive, no solutions, no how do we fix it? No. Everybody wants to say, well, how do we fix it? There ain't no fixing it. It's just fucked up. What? 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 I'm like, who started this? Who is the president of this organization?
Right.
This makes absolutely no sense to me right now. So I originally was not going to talk about this. I was going to talk about, I have no idea. But this seemed more relevant for something going into the end of the week and then really having people kind of look at, ironically, who they pay attention to on social media. And then I thought about it. I was like, why do I care? Why do I even care? Why does it even matter? Because most people in this day and age spend more time on their phone than they do in front of the TV.
Hell, or even in front of
not that that's a bad thing. Well, not that it's a bad thing, but yeah, spend more time on social media than they do with their family. Mm-hmm. They interact more on social media than they do with their family. And I think the sad part about that is that if you are paying more attention to everybody else around you instead of what you need to be doing and listening to the rhetoric of them talking all this shit, how you supposed to live, how you supposed to eat, how you supposed to think, how you supposed to breathe, how you supposed to have sex, how you supposed to be in a relationship. People talk about all the negatives, but then when the positives come out, nobody want to support that. Nobody want to listen to the positives. Nobody wants to listen to the solution-based conversation. Everybody wants to listen to the people that ain't going no fucking nowhere. Running in the 4 walls and they keep going live and people keep supporting them, running into them same 4 walls.
Damn.
Help me make it make sense. The math ain't mathing.
And people are just peopling.
People are, yeah, you're right. People are
peopling right now.
People are peopling right now.
They really are, because like you just said, they go, they just click the live button, and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
I mean, let's be real.
There's no real outcome of the conversation that they're ever
absolutely having. But let's be real. You can have a select few people that you really like that may be entertaining to you, mm-hmm. and they use that platform one night or one evening or whatever the case may be and completely go off the rail about something that happened to them.
Right.
And maybe 2 people out of 100 that's in that live may say, well, what you gonna do about it? And that person will sit there and be like, oh, I'm gonna call the police, or I'm gonna get with my people and we're gonna figure it out, or whatever. And then you're kind of left into the reality of how people now are getting more popular with this reality life type thing.
Yeah.
Reality TV. Where, you know, people are blogging their life, and now it's like, oh shit, you know, so-and-so got arrested. They was living in their car and so-and-so, and they police came and picked them up. What happened? I don't know. They ain't posted no video yet, so I guess they still in jail. It's like, you think they give a fuck about you? You worried about somebody else's bullshit when you ain't even got your damn lights on where you looking at the live at from. What the fuck?
I am weak. Oh my God.
It's like, this is the mentality that a lot of people have. It's like they will pay attention to somebody else's, you know, lavish bullshit life that they have because of you being a subscriber and a supporter. They got this $1 million house that they live in. You buying all their merch and everything else. But when someone has a solution-based conversation with you and can help you with any kind of with whatever solution of a problem you may have, rather it's I'm trying to clear my credit, or I'm trying to make better decisions financially. You know, I'm trying to, you know, hustle, but at the same time, I want to make sure that the hustle that I'm doing is the actual right hustle, and it's not just the hustle that I'm piggybacking off of somebody else's hustle, because it works for them don't mean it's going to work for me. So it's like, I got to develop my own hustle and get, you know, good with the hustle that I'm doing. And why does it have to be a hustle? And should it be something that I just come into? And it's like all these things that veer you off track from the reality that you need to just sat your ass down and stop worrying about what everybody else is doing and figure out what the fuck you need to do.
Right. You have to have your own lane, and you have to.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to be an asshole or a dick, but I'm these. Why are we so influenced by what somebody else is doing and not being motivational to us?
Yeah.
It's like we can't even be our own motivation. We can be our own motivation to do the shit that we feel that we want to do that entertains us, but we can't do the shit that's going to be a product of an environmental change or a life change for how people see my family or how I was raised or whatever. We can't be that dynamic change. All we want to do is fit into the solutions of I'm a Gen Z, or I'm a Gen X, or I'm a boomer, or I'm this, or I'm that. And this is not how we think. You know, we were brought up differently and da. It's like, you ain't even putting that to action. It's a conversation piece to win an argument. I ain't got time for that shit. I ain't trying to win no argument. I'm all about solutions. I don't argue. I walk away. Because to me, if you want to argue, that's your ego trying to argue with my ego. And my ego does not need to come out. I'm an asshole.
That's a fact.
A proud asshole. I don't need to be an asshole.
Y'all listening, trust and believe. That is a true fact.
I'm not bragging about it. I'm just saying, I know I go straight to asshole. There's no in between. There's no I'm going to get there. No, it's immediate asshole from that point. And it's hard to get away from that asshole. If I'm an asshole for that one person, I'm probably going to be an asshole for like about 3 days. That's just
also facts.
I mean, I'll have the thought of not being an asshole, but man, it
goes away.
It goes away. So anyway, this is, to me, you got to figure this piece out too. Knowing that you may be in or support a lot of solution-based conversations. It's like, what do you do to not even just recognize that, but how do you get away from that type of situation? Offer solutions. When it comes to your round of talk, offer solutions. Even if y'all ain't even been in the conversation 10 minutes. You know what the topic is, offer solutions. And if they stop you and say, oh, we're going to get there, you know, if we got time. Wait a minute. What you mean if you got time? Why are you having this conversation then? If you're having this conversation strictly based on the fact that you got the platform and you got one to have a topic to talk about, yet at the end of the day, there's going to be no conversation, no time set aside to have a solution-based conversation. So all of this is non-solution based. This is just you bitching.
Right.
That's all this is. You bitching.
And if you're allowed to be able to speak and offer a solution, why isn't it being allowed at that time?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think it's ever warranted to open a conversation with how to fix it. When the person needs to set the table, right? Mm-hmm. If you've ever been a supporter of anybody's shit, how long does it take this person to set the table?
It shouldn't take.
I need y'all to follow with me now.
It shouldn't take no time at all.
If a person is having a conversation about whatever, if they're talking about how are we gonna stop the discrimination, or how are we gonna stop how people discriminate against each other, how are we gonna stop or eliminate the conversations that people, or the empty promises that have been given to us but not followed through with. Are we going to have a solution-based conversation, or is this just a non-solution-based conversation where you just bringing up all the negative shit
right
about it?
It's been talked about and talked about and talked about.
And nothing positive, just some truths and some, this is some bullshit, because that's what you're going to hear a lot is this is some bullshit and da-da-da, and we shouldn't have to deal with this. And I know a bunch of y'all have dealt with it too. Put it in the comments. It's that type of conversation that goes on. And then it's like the dramatic turn for that conversation is when somebody else comes up to the table and completely distracts the whole audience with their story and their experience. And we all know how that goes. For a whole hour now, they're going back and forth with this person's story and dissecting pieces and puzzles of it and everything to actually go nowhere.
Damn.
Ain't no solution. Now you've been in this person's life for 2 hours, and what do? Wrap the shit up.
With no thought of nothing.
While in the comments, people are talking about, well, maybe they should do this or maybe this. And then you got the trolls in there and be like, maybe you should shut the hell up and stop being this. And maybe you shouldn't be in this. And your income bracket would take you in this and that. Now people are arguing in the damn comments. It's a whole distraction.
Yeah.
And y'all are not paying attention to the fact that when people go live and become these social media influencers and things like that, yes, there are some that are entertainment, but there are some that are personal development or spiritual, if you will, or in a lane of finance and things of that nature, just because that is the lane that these people want to be in, because that's their expertise, and people won't support them in that.
Right.
Because there's no drama attached to it. There's no grit and grimy shit in it. There's no entertainment value enough for you to have your attention focused on something that really is not going to build any enthusiasm, or it's not going to boost any type of emotional response from you. By listening to how someone can provide tools to help you, nobody wants to listen to that.
Right.
And the problem is that because it's solution based, it's oil and water. People would rather, be subjected to all the negative and how someone delivers a product of the truth and how the truth is this. And people will get on, oh, yes, he's speaking the truth and blah, blah, blah. And nothing at the end of the day is ever talking about solutions until maybe when they at the end, they do a call to action to their social media platforms. And it was like, if you got some solutions, put it in the comments. We out. Peace. It's like, what the fuck?
Damn, that's how you ended shit?
What did I just watch?
Wow.
So I'm only speaking, like I always said, and y'all get to know me the longer y'all listen to me in these podcasts. I'm only speaking from experience. I realized that I was listening and paying attention to non-solution based conversations when I'm sitting there saying, well, if you're this influencer with so many followers, some of your followers might know somebody in the game that we need to master to play, the government, to get your voice heard on how we can fix some of these things. But how can that conversation happen when you ain't even talking about solutions?
Right.
It's like we always want to bring up the problems, and then a lot of people will play devil's advocate. Now, I can't say a lot of people play devil's advocate, but I'll play devil's advocate. People will say, we know the problems that are out there. We know what's going on out there. We don't need solutions right now. We need everybody to know the bad that's going on. Well, let me tell you, we're in the United States of America. United States of America. What's uniting us? You gonna say the Constitution because they say we the people? That ain't it. What you gonna say because of democracy? That sure shit ain't it. They got TikTok on trial.
Yeah.
That's democracy?
I saw that article or whatever.
Yeah. Is that democracy?
TikTok's on trial, and I was like, well, damn.
I was talking to my sis up in New York, and we were talking about it like in detail, talking about how I think it's a messed up situation. But we're not gonna talk about that right now.
Yeah.
And of course, there was solution-based conversation because that's kind of how we always have our conversations. Is you know, how can this be fixed? How can we fix this? What needs to happen? You know, and I will go off of on my tangent as far as what I think, as far as what I know, as far as knowledge and information, references and stuff like that. But of course, if I don't know it, then I'm kind of stuck against the wall. It's like, okay, I'll do some research, look at some YouTube or look at some books and see what they've written to help if there's a solution out there, if there's even a solution, or to even understand why these situations are going on the way they are. I'm not saying people got to be like me and think like me. All I'm saying is this is the parameters I go through even when I come to a podcast.
Right.
I want to make sure not only am I delivering the information the way I want to deliver it, but it's not delivered to you like you're going to get it from 16 other people that are on YouTube or doing a podcast.
Yeah, you sure right about that.
Or on social media, huh?
I said you sure right about that.
So,
I mean, you deliver the information so very different than anybody else. So
I'm gonna be honest, it's because I don't like gossip. I don't like talking about current events because that's really gossip at the end of the day.
And the news stations report that shit all day.
And then it's a matter of opinion.
True.
And everybody has to like your opinion for it to be a matter of opinion. So really, the matter of opinion is a very broad statement if it's only your opinion. It's got to be the matter of opinion from people that actually listen to you so they can respect and like your opinion and say, you know what? I like his opinion about it. Mm-hmm. And it's like people can reference it and say, hey, look at this dude or listen to his podcast. I like how he broke this down. That's the matter of opinion.
Yeah.
Because it matters. It's not because it's the sole purpose of this one person's thoughts. It's because people resonate with that thought. And it's not something that he's ego driven behind. It's just his idea of how things come together. And it's just like my idea of how everything comes together when it comes to these non-solution based conversations. Because to me, it's pointless to support people that have no vision on how to fix it, but they have a vision on how they can bitch about it and complain about it. And not want to sit at the table for solutions. They just want to sit there and be the loud voice in the room and say, this is a messed up situation. Well, guess what? We done seen 15,000 YouTube videos on how fucked up this situation is. And guess what? It still ain't fixing it. It's just becoming viral because y'all bringing it to people's attention. Guess what? The people that have the power to fix it, they ain't fixing this shit. You know why? Because the people that should be in power are the people bitching about the same problems with no solutions. Y'all have the biggest follower and the biggest caretaking when it comes to social media, to where you can't take 1 million people, regardless of where they're coming from, if they're in the United States, and you can trim that by 3/4 or whatever the fuck your math is and figure it out. But at the same time, you think that you can't take that math and move it to the position of where solutions are actually talked about and discussed. But no, they just want to have these non-solution based conversations talking about, I want to sit at the table. Bitch, the table has been set up. All you got to do is pull the chair out.
And sit down.
And sit the fuck down. Exactly. I mean, what are you waiting for?
That table been set.
That table is dusty as hell right now. It needs somebody to sit there and just wipe it off a little bit and be like, oh, yeah, we good. No, hurry up.
You take it too long.
Damn. Okay, so some things to do, some things to kind of stop in this quest of, not being supportive or not being in the position to frequently say, hey, I'm listening to non-solution based conversations and I'm realizing that. How do I get myself out of this? Or how do I get myself from not wanting to, continue on listening? Set boundaries within yourself. Like I said before, offer solutions, but offer solutions that in a timely fashion. You've listened to enough conversation and now they're taking questions. Bam. Okay, so
right.
What is a suggestion as a solution? Because the conversations that I've heard in the last however long you've been in that position to listen to that live conversation, and you be respectful when you just say, I heard this, and this, and just my opinion. Doesn't matter. You can respect it or not, but just my opinion, I think blah, 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 because if you it's like, make sure you have everything.
Right. Your I's dotted and your T's
crossed. Your
crossed.
I's dotted and your T's crossed, but at the same time, be respectful of your time. Try to do it within a minute. If you could do it within a minute and a half, I think people can respect you and say, if you would like to sit down and talk more, I would love that. I would put my socials or DM you my socials or whatever. But I think this is a conversation that needs to continue on. But we also need to have those solutions, because if we can sit at the table and outline our solutions as a community,
right,
things can get fixed. But see, these are the kind of conversations that we all should be having before they get to the extent of where our government wants to distract us with this TikTok hearings and the, 2 to 3 years later, now they're trying to, get Donald Trump for this. And it's like all these distractions, but they don't want to tell you, oh, we're about to go to war with China. Oh, there's COVID. He's coming back. Maybe not. I don't know. People are manufacturing the hydrochloroquine by using grapefruit. It's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
But raising inflation again.
Raising inflation and distracting us with this bullshit rhetoric conversation on TikTok that y'all streamed on TikTok and YouTube and everything else. But you guys can't sit down and have a conversation about what people need to do when it comes to inflation. All you guys do is just inflate it some more. Let's raise it up some more. Mm-hmm. Like it's no big deal. Like somehow Americans are not already struggling and y'all trying to come up with plans to fix homelessness and unemployment, but y'all going to raise inflation and some form of slut magic that's supposed to fix it, right? Like in some form that's supposed to fix it. They're distracting you. They're not in a solution-based business right now. They're in a distracting business. Yeah, they're in the distracting business. I want to distract you from the process of elimination, that we want to get rid of the weak and only keep the people that can take care of the roles that go high and low. And if you can't roll with the punches, then guess what? Then you just need to sit over there and we'll forget about you. It's like they'll eliminate the weak just so that the powerful can stay alive, but the powerful have their own issues with the other powerful people because people are doing shit differently and people are expecting to be successful at the end of the day. But how can you be successful when the financial situation is always changing and the social dynamic of how we see people
right
is changing? Diversity is starting to get divided.
Uh-oh.
I don't even think we need to have that damn conversation.
Uh-oh.
Oh, let me write that down.
Whew. I was just about to say, because you may need to repeat that because I don't think the people heard you.
Let's go into a deeper conversation about that next week.
Okay.
Is diversity getting divided? People don't know what diversity is. This is something that they push in any job or any kind of establishment that you go to, and say that an equal amount of people, regardless of the race, color, creed, or religion or whatever, is going to work here. Are we saying now that that situation is getting divided? What is the solution? Leave the shit alone. Leave people alone. Stop judging people on what they look like and where they come from. If they're being successful and doing the right thing, then let them be. But you can't sit here and just be all restrictive because you don't like the way somebody looks, dressed, feels, talks, kisses, whatever. What the fuck? People are weird. Just weird. Anyway.
Right.
I think to add on to this last part of the non-solution based conversation, sorry, I get sidetracked a little bit. I think one of the last things is avoid the drama. It's like when people get it, and I know people hear me say trauma bonding a lot. If you feel a conversation that is being had is a form of trauma bonding where people are just saying stuff to bond with other trauma filled people. And trauma filled people are people that haven't healed from their trauma. And all they do is sit in these social circles and talk about their trauma with no solutions, no healing, no nothing, just talking about their trauma and how it makes them feel and why they are this now, why they're single now, or why they're working at the job that they're working at when they probably could be doing something better, or why they are in the current relationship that they're in right now and they don't want to get out of it. Whatever it is, people get in these tough situations that make them be somebody that they're not. It's like they're protecting the last inch of emotional damage that they've ever went through in a bad situation that they're currently going through. And it doesn't get any better. Because all they do is get in these groups and trauma bond with people and discuss the same trauma over and over again and never healing from it and causing chaos throughout the waves of everything that they do.
Yeah, because then it puts them back in that situation, and the cycle just continues around that, and they never move out of it.
Right.
Because they're continually talking on it, about it, through it, with it, and it just gets to a point where there's no end in sight for it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to get out of that little circle or whatever of the people that they're talking about it with and move on to something else.
Right. And I think it's sad because
a lot of people have gotten stuck in that cycle.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I mean, it's a sad reality. It really is.
It's really just, it's not even just a sad reality. It's it's damaging.
Yeah.
It gives me that feel of when Oprah Winfrey used to do her shows and she would bring Dr. Phil on and have, kind of like an end game. Here's Dr. Phil to help you, whatever. And the person would, be receptive to the information. And then they would, later come back and say, hey, this is what happened, or this is how things went, or whatever. And it makes you feel good. It makes you feel that this person is actually moving forward and they're progressing or whatever. But then there's the other side of it where you have people that go through mental health episodes or go through a mental health situation and don't have someone to talk to. So they bond with other people that don't go through therapy or have never went through therapy and do other addictive stuff to heal or I should say max the healing that they're supposedly going through, that they're not going through. All they're doing is putting a Band-Aid on it.
Right.
And now you got this person that didn't go through therapy, doesn't want to for whatever reason, listen to you, and now this person's putting Band-Aids on situations, and now it's like they're going through a whole addiction problem, and now, you know, it's gotten worse, and it's to the point where it's unrecoverable.
Right.
And people don't understand that certain people's mental health and situations become unrecoverable. This is what happens, and this is what develops in these trauma bonding groups.
Right.
They're just having non-solution based conversation and high-fiving each other and completely being the ain't shit person that they are. And then when they have somebody that actually will help them get through that, they shit on that person. And then go brag about it to other ain't shit ass people that ain't healed from their trauma. And now you're the topic of conversation. Not that it actually matters, but it's just, that's the cycle. And unfortunately, when you get away from drama, you don't have to deal with that.
Right.
Because you'll recognize it early and you'll be like, yep, I'm tapping out. This is some bullshit.
Yeah.
I just know. And I think lastly, I said the other one would be lastly, but this is the last one, and then we're going to get up out of here, is make sure that you spend your time with people that want to see you be successful, but at the same time, you're having solution-based conversations, excuse me, which means just by its definition, positive conversations.
Right.
You're keeping each other motivated. You're finding solutions for things, but you're not coming to this person with the problem. You're coming to this person with the idea that this could be a problem, but I think this may be a solution. What do you think? Not saying that what you say I'm going to do, but I may need another set of eyes on this type of situation. That person gives you their outlook on it, and then you just develop whatever. And it's like, keep your circle small. You may only tell one or two people, and everybody's like, well, everybody's in your business. That's not how you're supposed to look at it.
Right.
Because everybody that's in your business is when you start putting your relationship shit on Facebook. You searching for solutions at that point. You're not even just trying to, have people in your business. You searching for solutions. It's like now you got everybody in your business because you didn't put your relationship on a post on Facebook. And now you got all your friends list trying to tell you what you need to do. Being your therapist. And the one that sounds good is what you're going to do. Really? Anyway. So to recap, we just talked about stop supporting non-solution based conversations and why. And I kind of went through a myriad of things and tried to get people to understand that understanding and recognizing what non-solution based conversations are and their full function, not necessarily as far as the dynamic of making them all bad. Right. They're actually all bad. But I don't want to be the asshole and say that you can't listen to these non-solution based conversations. To me, they're entertaining. And people say, well, how is that? Because some people just may not have the solutions that can help fix whatever needs to be fixed. No,
they can have the right set of ears in the room.
No, they have the rights. Yeah, they have the rights. It's just not putting your business out there is one thing, but there's another thing of informing your community or informing people that follow you about something negative and nothing positive is ever coming out. That's not solution based. So we talked about that, and then we talked about, why it's so important. But I went through a few things as far as how I see to recognize the things and how to step away from those non-solution based conversations so we can bring it back to the solution based content creators or the people that want to help people and help them succeed instead of just wanting their follows. I don't just want your support. I want to be able to provide something. I want to be able to provide solutions. But at the end of the day, I want to actually give entertainment and comedy and give the shit that people don't want to give. I want to give you the energy that I think you should get by listening to a podcast, whether you're rolling down the street, you listen to me at the gym, or you're just fucking off at the house. I want you to be able to say, hey, I can listen to somebody that's actually genuinely having a real conversation, and it's not coerced by a producer or some writers or some kind of figment of imagination of somebody that wants to just say, we need you to namaste and not say so many curse words, or just be so compelled to, make sure you are appealing to the listeners. I appeal to the realist because I'm real.
And you didn't go to Google University.
And I didn't go to Google University. Yeah. I don't have that degree.
No.
The fuck? Who goes to Google? My life experience is way past Google, okay? Shit.
Yeah. And on Tuesday.
Yes, ma'am.
On Tuesday, when we're live on a podcast, we're going to talk about, is diversity getting divided?
Yes. So please follow on Facebook. That's what I said. On YouTube, please get my YouTube numbers up. Subscribe. Go to YouTube. YouTube, that's what I said, is there. Subscribe. I'm live on Facebook and YouTube. Every podcast, live video, and you can catch me live on Spreaker.com. Download the app so then you can chat with me while we're doing the podcast. And if you don't listen to me live, you can listen wherever you get your podcasts. Apple, Google, Spotify, Deezer, it doesn't matter. I'm on there. iHeartRadio as well. Anything for the people before we get up out of here?
The only thing I have for the people is have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy yourself. Do some self-motivation and empowerment for your own self. And we will be back on Tuesday.
Y'all already know what it is. We're going to kick it in on Tuesday. She already told you what the topic's going to be. Catch us on Tuesday. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all to life. Catch us Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We out.
Peace.
That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.